$100,000.
Oh, you get this for $100,000.
Good morning, everybody. Today is Daf Nun Aleph, Sagas Sadarim. Nun Aleph.
Oh,
Nun Aleph. And the Darim.
I knew.
We're letting out
So, all right.
Settle down, boys.
So, all right. So we left off yesterday. We were discussing some Rebbe. We had a Maisa with Rebbe that to go ahead and daven on behalf of the Tzibur. Speaking of Rebbe, we mentioned his chasna earlier. So Amar, I believe, So Amar Lei, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines to the top. Nun Aleph and Aleph. So Amar Lei bar kapara lebarte de Rebbe. So Bar Kapara said to the daughter of Rebbe Lamacher, Tamar Shasina Chamra Rikude Davucha over Karkini Dimcha. So tomorrow I will go ahead and I will drink some wine to the dancing of your father and the singing of your mother. It wasn't necessarily the singing of her, but perhaps the preparation of drinks, as we'll soon see. And Ben Eliasa, Chasnei the Rebbe, Ben Eliasa, he was the son-in-law of Rebbe Haya, the Usher Gadol Habi, and he was very wealthy. So what happened in this chasna? Azmei lebehilula, the Rebbe Shimon, the Rebbe Isa Bar Kapara was invited to the chasna of Rebbe Shimon, the son of Rebbe. So Amar, that was Ben Eliasa's brother-in-law, right? So Amar Bar Kapara, the Rebbe, my toeva. What is the pshat of the word toeva? The pasuk says v'isha sher yishkav as zachar v'isha toeva. Right? Why was toeva? So called Demarlei Rabbi da'achinu toeva parchavei kapara. So every time that the Rabbi had a pshat, Bar Kapara basically deflected and argued on his pshat. So Amarlei, so parshat, okay, fine. So if you keep deflecting my answers, so what you tell me what it means? So Amarlei says, okay, you want me to tell you? So Tisi the biaschi the timely. So he says, if that's the case, go ahead and have your wife, prepare me a glass, right? A glass to drink. So he went ahead and he asked for the glass, and so he says, have her bring me a cup. And Asa Ramzaleh, she came and poured from the glass of wine. So Amarle, the Rebbe, now he said to Rebbe, Kum Rakuli. Now, before I give you the answer, you go ahead and dance for me. I'll tell you. So I'll explain to you. Right? So it means the word toeva comes from toya, like you make a mistake, right? You're making a mistake with this. As you make a mistake with a man, that you leave a woman for a man. So the Kaisa Achrano. So he wanted basically another cup of wine, right? He was having a good time, Bar Kapara. So he's having a Samarlei. My teva. What does the mean? The pasuk it says v'chol behema leisitein shachvatecha l'tama ba. V'isha loisama lifnei behema l'riva tevel hu. That calls it a tevel for a woman to do the animal. Samarlei. So Kianina Kadmai. So he says, okay, tell me what it is. And once again, he deflected all the answers. He says, okay, you explain. So he says, I'll explain to you. So I'll tell you. I'll do it as long as you do what you did before. I'll do the same thing. And basically, go ahead and have your wife prepare me a glass of wine. You go ahead and dance. Dance for me. So so that's what you said before. The do so Amarle Tavahu Tavlin Yeshva, right? Is there spices, right? When it comes to relations with the animal, Tavlin Yeshva Mishana Hada Bia. I mean Kulu Bios, right? Why? What makes this Bia different than other Bios? That you should go ahead and choose bestiality, right? Over anything, all the permissible relations. So that's what Tavel means. So Amarle my Zima, and once again. Right? I guess he was still thirsty, wanted another glass of wine. He didn't want to wait at the bar. So Amarle, my Zima. What does the pasuk here says? Zima. The pasuk says al techolas bitcholas naisav tizna haaretz malaya haaretz Zima. Right. So she should not become a zayna. So they call the Zima. So Amarle, Avid kinyana kadmai. So Avid. So okay. So once again, he tried to give him terutzim. He deflected the terutzim. He says, okay, you tell me. I will first. Your wife needs to bring me a glass of wine. You need to dance. Zo mahi. Zomahi. So in that case, so in other words, if a woman is a zona, then you would not know the nature of her child. So lo Yachil ben Eliasa Misval. So the son-in-law was not able to go ahead. He didn't like what was going on, how Bar Kapara was treating his father-in-law, right? Basically, and his mother-in-law. So he wasn't able to take it. So what did he do? So Kabanafak he left. Who say? Right, Mitaman. So they left from over there. They left the chasim. That was it. They had enough. Samai ben Eliasa. So what do we know about Eliasa? The title of the Brayso. Lo yilchinam pizeh ben Eliasa es ma'isa. It was not for nothing, but that he spent his money. El lahara is ben special kohen gadol. He used to go ahead and get a special haircut. The pasuk says, "Kasaim yachsamum es rasheim." So it says over there by the kohen gadol. It says over there, right? They shall go ahead and trim that which is on their head. Satana Kain Lulanias. So it was like Lulanias. He had a Lulanias haircut. My Lulanias. Rabbi Yehuda Tisparta Yechidas. It's a very unique haircut. Hechidam. So how was? Rabbi Reisha Shelzeh Betzadikaro Shelzeh V'Hayin Tisparta Kohen Gadol. Right. I guess when one hair would stop, the next one would start. So I guess it would So I don't know exactly how it would go. But
I have a picture.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Adults to the rescue.
I assume more like a Dumb and Dumber type of look. I don't know, with the one hair going down and then the next one starting from underneath it.
Oh, wow. Wavy, like
Maybe it's like the Three Stooges.
Let me see what it looks like.
Whoa. Rows and rows here.
That doesn't look like the Three Stooges. Curly was bald.
All right, fine,
British.
maybe. All right.
He was bald. Curly was bald.
All right, 2 dots.
Not like that.
So we said in the Mishnah yesterday, when certain foods, whether they're eaten with bread, it's considered basically independent, or as a nat is included. It says of Dlas Haramutza. We said gourds Haramutza, Samai Dlas Haramutza, Samar Shmuel, Kara Karkuza. Right, it was type of I guess gourd, right, that came from Karkuza. Rav Ashi Amar Dlas Haptuna Baramas. Now something that basically was soaked for, or I guess cooked or for a long time in the ashes. Says Rabbi Rav Ashi Ibn Nechemia Eimer Dlas Aramis he Dlas Hamitzvus Kalayim Imei Yavanis Kalayim Imei Remutza. So we see that this type of dalas, right, are kilayim with remutza. So remutza, it must be a species. It must be 2 different species, and not the way it's prepared. So you see over here, the dalas remutza is a specific type of a species of gourd, and it's not necessarily the way one is prepared. So therefore, it's a tiyufta on Rav Ashi, who says that it was describing the way it was prepared. Fine. Now, I would say Naya Mishnah, but actually this is the quote from the Mishnah we had earlier. So you can make a deal. So Hanayder b'Maisa Kadera, one who goes ahead and makes another for Maisa Kadera. Ein Asa Elu Maisa der Raschasa. So one who goes ahead and makes another from something which is Maisa Kadera, basically something which is cooked for a long time in the heat. So he's only Usher for something like grits or oatmeal, those type of things which are cooked for Maisa Kadera. Not anything goes in pot, but only those things that are cooked for a long time in that's on the boiling pot. However, Amir Kainim Hayari the Kadera, he says, Usher to me is something which goes in the pot. And he told you that from tasting, so Usher B'Kol Nasa B'Kadera, anything that goes in the pot, you would be Usher from. So Tanya, we're learning about one who says he makes another from something which goes into a pot. Asr b'yared alphas. He's also asr. That's something that goes in the pan. Why? Shekfar yarad l'kedera. Kaidem sheyar l'alphas. Because something that went in the pan was actually first sort of defrosted or cooked a little bit, partially cooked in a pot, and then it goes into the frying pan. So you see anything that went in the frying pan previously already went into the pot, and therefore it's usher because that's considered to be hayari the kadera. Now, if one says Min hayare alfas. One who says I must for something that goes in a frying pan. So mutter b'yare the kadera. He's mutter to something that already went in the kadera, even though that ultimately it will go into the frying pan. And nevertheless, even though it already went into the pot and now it's ready for the frying pan, it didn't go in the frying pan yet. It's not usher yet. Once it goes in the frying pan, then it's usher. But not just the first step would not make it usher. Min hanasa b'kedera. If one says something which was done, which is basically then it's only something which is right, which is only prepared in a pot and not at all in a frying pan. Min hanasa b'ilfas is something which is prepared in ilfas on a frying pan. So mutter b'nasa kedera only he is mutter something that is finished off in a pot. Hanayder min hayir the tanur. One makes a nether from something that goes in a tanur. Right, in an oven, ain't also pas. That is a reference to bread. The Imam called Maisa Tanum. He says anything, right? If he didn't just say that which goes in an oven, which is synonymous with bread, but if he says anything, called Maisa, anything that involves a stove, right, or an oven, right? Call Maisa Tanur alai. Then Asir b'chol nasa b'tanur. That's Asir anything that goes in the oven. That would include all things, not just bread. Fine. Mishnah says, top of the page, min hakabush. So one who goes ahead and makes another min hakabush, something which is preserved. In Asr elam min hakabush shel yarek. There's a reference to something which is hakabush, the preserve. So the preserver works, which this is normally standard, preserved. Your typical pickles, vegetables which were preserved. If he says kabush anytime. Anything preserved to be tasting. Also, these also for anything which is preserved. Even meat, right? Meat is preserved. It's not called the preserved. The preserved is referred to the vegetables, but anything that's preserved would include meat. Min ha-shalak. He says something which is basically undercooked. And also min ha-shalak shabas. That is referring to meat, right? Something which is cooked rare.
Wait, I thought shalak was overcooked.
No, undercooked here.
Undercooked?
Undercooked, yeah. Refers to basar. So shalak shani tayin. If he says shaluk, that which was anything that's undercooked, so also anything that's goes ahead and undercooked.
It was not cooked.
So Amar le Rav Achaber, the Rav Avia, the Rav Ashi, Amar. So he said hakavush versus kavush anitayim. So what if he says the kavush, right? That was preserved. Mai the shaluk, that was undercooked. Mai the tzli, that was which is roasted. Mai, which is let's the next mishnah. Mai the maliach, or that which was salted, my so heichin mashma. So how which way is this mashma? Is the mashma referring to the one, in other words, the normal thing that's prepared in this manner, or is it referring to anything that's prepared in such a manner? So the Gemara leaves it as tiboy. It's a good question. Minatzli. If one who says I'm also minatzli, ein aser ela minatzli shel basar, is referring to roasted meat. Rabbi Yehuda, that's the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda. Fine. Right. So tzli any time. If he says anything roasted for me tasting, aser b'chol tzli. All right, then he's aser anything that's roasted, not just meat, anything else which is roasted. Min hamaliach. He says from that which is salted. In aser ela min hamaliach b'shel dog. Right. Salt is a reference. The main thing is salted is fish. Maliach sheni toyim, but not anything which is salted. Then aser b'chol hamluchim. He's aser to eat anything which is salted. Dogim sheni toyim. If he says fish. Or dogim, fishes, right? Shani time. Aser, he's aser behen ben gedolim, ben katana, whether it's large fish, small fish, ben meluchim, whether it's salted fish, ben taflim. So whether they're salted, whether they're tfeilim or not salted, ben chayim, basically they're raw, ben muvushalim, or whether they're cooked. Umutter. Betar is trufa. He's mutter in like cut up fish, uvatzir, and also something from the fish brine, right? Fish brine and the chopped up, which I think is sort of like I think this triach is true, but it could be similar to our herring, sardine. But no, we'll soon see. But it's actually a larger fish which is chopped up. We'll soon see. So. And those, since it's a larger fish is chopped up, I don't know, maybe that's like the herring, I don't know. The reason for that is because dagudagi is referring to a whole fish, whether it's large or small, but not one which is chopped up. So which is chopped up is not considered to be a fish, right? In terms for the nether. Hanoider min hatzachana. If one who says, right, he's also from tzachana, aser betaris trufa. He's also even with this chopped up fish. Aser betaris trufa umutter, but he's still mutter, but sir umaris. He's still a mutter in the brine with fish juice. And hanoider betaris trufa. And he makes another from this taris trufa, chop the fish. Aser but sir umaris. Then some of the different the aleph. The aleph over here changes it around. What? So tzachana, right? So another tzachana is referring to, I think the Gemara says, my tzachana, right? It's referring to like a mixture. I think it's like more like a herring, like a chopped up. It's like a dish. Well, I can't find the round sec. Tzachana also tzachana dagin ketanim harbe meluchim. Right, a lot of small fish. And there are also pieces of the cut of fish. Most of the ones in there are full. So it's like a big mixture. I don't know if it's like your classic, I don't know, big bowl of herring or what it is, but large and small and fishy. And since it contains, right, part of that, that menu, the recipe is these chunks of fish. Then it's aser. However, the Ran says me that Sir Omarias mutter, but those other parts are mutter shem behen chaticha shel because those are a piece of fish. Ela shmeina v'karava. Rather, it's just the the fats and the innards. So that is tzachana. That's like the dish. So that would aser b'tarei. But he says from the from what's it called? If he asks just the taris trufa, right? Then the Ran has a lashon of mutter but Sir Omarias. Then he's mutter in that. Because those are just the juice and not considered to be from the actual fish itself, even though it does contain it. So Zok the Gemara. So Tanya, Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar Omer dog shenitayim asa b'gedolim umuter b'zana. A person says, I'm forbidden from fish. He's also in large fish umuter b'zana, but he's muter in small fish. Daga, if he says the word daga shenitayim asa b'ktanim, then he's asa b'ktanim umuter b'gedolim. So daga, he says both daga shenitayim asa b'em gedolim b'em ktanim. Then he's asa both large and small. So Amar le Rav Papa le Abaye mimai dag shenitayim gadol. Who says that which we say? The dog for me is referring to a large fish. The pasuk says, right? So the pasuk over there in Yonah says, "Vayamar Hashem dag gadol livas Yonah." So it says he was swallowed up by a dog. So we see a dog is a reference to a large fish. He cried from the daga. Well, it's a large fish. Over here it says daga with the hay, right? And you said sahala kasha. So it says no kasha duma the palte dagadu ubaya dagkata. Maybe what it means is that basically maybe he was swallowed up initially by the large fish, and he spit out Yonah. And then a smaller fish swallowed him up, and then he dived out from the smaller fish. Ella v'adaga shibiyor your mesa. So it says over there by the Makkos, it says that the fish in the Yor died. So the larger fish didn't die, just a small fish. So Ella daga mashma gedalim umashma gedalim. Rather, daga is mashma both. We go after lashon bnei adam. And therefore, when people use the word dog, it's referring to a larger fish. And when they say dog, it's referring to a smaller fish. And therefore, since Nadarim go acher lashon bnei adam, after what people are referring to, so therefore, if one says dog, it's only referring to large. And one says dog, is referring to small. And hanayder me'atzachana. So one is he makes this nether from this, this bowl, which combines both, pieces of chopped up fish and regular. So Amar le Ravina le Ravashi Amar Hare alai tzichin mai. What about it says, right? Behold upon me is it tzichin, right? Is he referring to all the brine that's in it, the murius and the juice, or not? Right? That's the way the Ran understands it, right? Right? Are those included if he says Hare alai tzichin? So the Gemara answers, Diboy, right? The question remains unanswered because we're unsure as to whether he's referring to the juices that are included in it or not when he says tzichin. All right, we'll stop here before the next Mishnah.